Appreciate you hitting the button. Welcome to the How to Hustle podcast with Hype. This is episode 36. Follow me on Instagram and Twitter at I am Hype. That's HYMPE. It's Hype. It's not hype. I'm not geeked up. Episode 36. Special guest in the building. This is a Philly support, Philly situation. Introduce yourself to the audience.
Man, thank you for having me, Hype. Uh, One half of the dynamic duo known as Two Kings 215, Fat Half, aka Splash Charles. Man, thank you for having me.
AKA Nutmeg Nah. Don't try to leave that one out.
Yeah, that's the hoop shit. That's the hoop shit. You right. Can't leave the hoop shit out. Yeah, man.
So when you threw Nutmeg Nah out, I said, oh no, this one is coming back up on the show.
Yeah, I was trying to leave that alone, bro.
You talk about hope niggas don't start calling me Meg. No, nigga. Niggas can't let niggas call you Meg these days.
Not
But,
at
oh yeah.
all.
Nutmeg Nas, definitely you wearing that one. But damn, I'm saying, like I said, Philly support Philly. Shout out to the BTG podcast too. I stole that one from them years ago. And if I see niggas is in the city and niggas is doing shit, then I'm trying to make shit happen. Try to pull as many people as I can into these situations. Because this is how you make anything work, is us trying to work together instead of working against each other. Problem we got in the city is niggas always work against each other. So let me get into the rundown though before we start the show. Now, wristbands are now available. The wristbands are in. Wristbands are available, y'all. Wristbands are $2 a shot. If you want a free wristband, then you make a purchase from Custom Hustle Jerseys on Instagram, and you get a free wristband with any order from Custom Hustle Jerseys. That's my clothing line. And you also can hit me for your cleaning jobs at H2H Cleaning. Those is both on Instagram, no Twitter for those situations. Okay, radio rundown. Tuesdays, GFT Radio Network, 2 o'clock every Tuesday. Wednesday, 9 a.m., 9 p.m. on the Kickback app. Then we go Thursday is WTNUphilly.com. Friday, I Say Podcast Radio Network, 10 a.m. And the THC Radio Network, Saturdays, 10 a.m. All right. Episode 36. We're gonna keep this local, you know what I'm saying? This is a Philly situation here, so we're gonna keep it local, even though we in a national hype situation always. Top 5 Philly rappers. The guest goes first on the How to Hustle podcast.
All right, so can you go all
Nutmeg
straight
Now,
five?
what's your list, baby?
Oh man, killing me. All straight five. All right. I definitely got to do a mix of new and old because I don't know a lot of new niggas. I ain't gonna hold you.
I don't know any of these new niggas.
Like I ain't gonna lie, all the new niggas I done found out about. Maybe I was somewhere and ran into one, and he told me hit they shit and I liked it, or I might have seen somebody posting it on my gram, one of my players or something. So I definitely gotta go with Steve, Black Thought, Dark Low.
You got Dark Low in your top.
That's listen. I don't know how to do. My top is gonna be my favorite. That's gonna be my top.
Copy. This is your list. Music is subjective. I can't. When you hear something in your ears, it hits you differently than it hits me. You got Dark Low. We're gonna break it. We're gonna break the list down and why you got Dark Low at number 3. But
okay.
Saying,
listen. I don't even have a ranking scale. I don't have a ranking scale.
Order. Okay. Go ahead. You got 2 more.
Who else we got? Me. And
one more.
So okay, C, Low, me. Who else was
Black
it?
Thought, you said.
Black Thought, and I'm gonna go with Chris for my 5th.
Okay, you go with Chris. Young Guns Chris for your out of town folks. All right. 5-1 right now for me. Oskino is number 5 for me.
Okay.
Cree Forge is number 4 for me. Number 3 is Spade. It's hard to put my man Spade at 3. Mac is number 2. And politically, my brother is number 1. He's lazy as shit, but he's the best. He's hot in a motherfucker. When I put this episode out, there'll be some shit posted from all these niggas every week. I mean, every day on the page, so you can check that out. You know, you can feel for niggas' music and all of that. Also do artist spotlights too. My bad, y'all. I keep forgetting about this. I do artist spotlights every week. It's a different artist that promoting the whole week, so you can follow them, hit their music and all of that. Also, GFT Radio Network Monday nights, 10 a.m. You get on the Twitch page, the YouTube channel, the Facebook, live on all of those streaming platforms, and you can see me on there with GFT family. But yeah, That would be CDF 1, Mac 2, Spade 03, Cree Forge 4, and Oskino 5. Now, we're gonna go over these lists here. Like I said, my brother, I know most of y'all don't know him, done never heard his shit, but believe me, I will post one of his joints on here and you'll get to see him. Or I'll post it on the Instagram and the Twitter at I am hype. Beans is Beans. If you know anything about
Facts.
Philly rap, Beans is on the list. I kind of really wanted to put Cassidy on the list on the
Me too.
2003, 4, 5 Cassidy. You
In
know,
fact, I'm a sub low out for Cass. I'm gonna be honest. I'm a sub low out for Cass.
copy that because Dark Low was coming up next. Cassidy, that's what I'm saying. Like you can't have this conversation without bringing Cassidy up too. Spade was my favorite rapper before he got booked and all of that. Like he had that large gap of time that he missed, but Spade was my favorite rapper. Like I told the nigga when I met him, bro, I was salty that you got locked up. Like
He
you
still
was
go
my
hard
man.
now.
I no question. You think I ain't got glory and Hall of Fame flow right here in the phone? Come on.
Oh, shit.
Cree, Cree is another one. Cree been the shit since those same DVD days. And if you talking about the Dead End 1 mixtape, like you take it all the way back with Cree always had shit for you. And Cree's storytelling is like immaculate. Cree got the joint Homewrecker. Man, he fucking murders this joint. And Oskino was like the one that was always in trouble. Like the one thing about niggas from Philly, they always say we extremists. We take shit too far. Oskino was taking shit too far because he was always in jail through the whole Rockefeller run. So the niggas who didn't get to see, like, if you didn't see them Hot 97 joints or the Power 99 joints or like those go to the radio station, he's bombing on everything. It's like if you didn't catch those outside of the city limits or the tri-state area, then you don't really know Oskino is really, really hot. Like, but he got them appetizer 5, 6, 7s and all of them. Like, you go dive into them joints and like he's murdering these joints too.
That's a
But
fact.
let's go back into your why we got what we got on your list.
All right, so like you said, beans is beans. Ain't really gotta explain that. Um,
Yeah,
Cass watched now, but Cass had a lot of mixtapes that was fire, man. People really undersell it because like he the bid now. When you hear some of this shit, it sound kind of corny. Some of his freestyles recently ain't
it's the
really hit
same
the
tip,
same way.
but you know what tip is really be on? It's like niggas front on Ja Rule now. Niggas act like Put It On Me wasn't the
Real
shit. Put
shit.
It On Me was the shit. And if you
They
was
niggas act like you know what? That's a great example because
every
niggas
little
act
thing that
like
we
Vinny
do, all
Vitty
of that
Bitchy
shit.
never happened.
Yeah,
With Ja Rule,
like
niggas act like Vinny Vitty Bitchy never happened. Like that wasn't a hard album back to front. And niggas do the same thing with Cass and Split Personality. Like
yeah.
niggas forget how hard they was bumping that shit.
This is another thing too. Like 50 Cent. If you try somebody ever, you can say whatever you want about it. He did whatever, and he's a weirdo. But if Get Rich or Die Trying is not a person who had a CD player who didn't have Get Rich or Die Trying on. You say whatever you want about him past that one, but you can't ever say nothing bad about Get Rich or Die Trying. Everybody had it, everybody banged it, and it was a classic. Like
Many Men was too hard. One of the hardest records I ever heard in my life. Trying to think who else
Cassidy
we
though
had
is
on
what
there.
you was in, yeah. Dark,
Yeah,
I
so
mean, so go ahead. You got Meek on your list. I
definitely
don't
the
have Meek
Cass.
on my list.
I put Meek on the list in terms of he's not one of my favorites, but if I had to say top, I felt like leaving him out of the list would be unfair because of the work he's put in, the accomplishments he has. Um, I like this, mixtapes and shit like that. And don't get me wrong, me personally, I was tapped out after Dream Chaser 2. Dream Chasers 1 and 2, I love. 3 and 4, I did not. 5, I did not, but still. Um, to kind of get to where he is on the mainstream level after where he came from, I feel like it was wrong to leave him off the list.
I absolutely see. Let me jump in here. This is
Okay.
one of them things I always tell people. I'm glad that the nigga got on. Anybody from here, you know how hard it is to be from here and what the hell goes on that we all got to deal with on a day to day. So if a nigga make it out of here, all the love in the world, salute to you for making it. One of my biggest things is always you pull the next nigga with you though. You pull the next nigga behind you. You never
That's the
leave.
biggest knock on him.
You always pull the nigga behind you. This is why this is why Beans has so much reverence and respect and love in the city. Beans pulled niggas from every end of the city into state property. Like, it's so much talent here. It's so much raw talent in Philly on the music side of things, but we have zero business sense. Like, once you get into,
Right.
like, we got a million people who could just, like, when they did the So Philly, the I'm So Philly challenge joint, the I'm So Brooklyn joint,
Mm-hmm.
the Philly niggas murdered that joint. Niggas can Philly from Philly can, like, they had smokers getting on the joint just bombing on shit. But for Philly niggas, it'd be that business sense. We need you to make a song. I need you to give me a hook. I need you to give me the bridge. I need you to put this whole situation together. I don't need you to just bomb for 12 minutes. For me, I never was a Meek fan. Like, back in the DVD
Okay.
days. Like, again, I'm glad you got on and all of that. Like, I know plenty of niggas that he hang with and all of that. That's what's up. But I never was a Meek fan in the DVD days. That one joint he had it with Reed when he got out and Reed was right there at the car and all of that. And he bombed
Yeah.
on him. You gotta respect that joint. Now I hop out on your corner and you talking this gangster
Yeah.
shit. You know what I'm saying? But I never fucked with him then. Then, like, when he got on, it was like, hey, he from here, so you know that's what's up. But I was like, I don't have that. I ain't got no Meek in my phone like that. I'm just riding through my old hood.
You
Like,
feel championships at all?
it was okay. It was all right. You feel the vibe? It's contagious. Like, I like the hook. Like, he wasn't really murdering none of them verses though. He had a couple of joints where it's like, all right, this joint is catchy, but at some point it gets kind of repetitive. Those I don't write dudes get repetitive. It's because you don't know that you just said this that same way 2 songs ago. You don't know that you just said this the same way 2 albums ago. Like, this is why you write shit down. This is why you structure your shit. And this is, again, that goes back to the Philly niggas business mind don't be
Mm-hmm.
there. Even though he's successful and all of that, but it's still the same crux of the problem.
Yeah, that's why I said he's on my list for accomplishment more than preference. Like everybody else is more of a preference. I like things, but him is more accomplishments because at the end of the day, you brought up the two things that I knock against him: the fact that like he just now signed Core or whatever to DC. Like how many dudes in Philly you could have been signed by now? I mean, in fact, you could have been signed Core by now. He proved that he could get his own following or that he could get his own base. So if that was your issue, you still could have been signed the ball. That and the fact that he's absolutely redundant.
And you just said that right there. It's not of the fact about building your own audience. If you get same shit like state property, I got, let's say he take 2 niggas from Philly and they putting
Right,
out a mixtape of it's these 3 niggas.
right.
Philly will get behind that because you're pumping the city. Like, y'all standing here all wearing Sixer shit all the time, or Eagle shit all the time, or Flyers, or Phillies. Like, niggas are going to just go with it just because it's somebody pumping the city, the same way that they do anywhere else. Like,
That's a fact.
it's about opening the door for the next person. Even if you don't want to sign him, but I know the nigga over here at this label, yo, I got a nigga out west that can, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's about opening those doors and trying to bring everybody with you. One of the things I tell people all the time, because I talk to niggas from around the world, fuck the country. I tell niggas international hype is not just a hashtag. That shit is real. I want to go to first class. But if I'm in first class and you never been to the airport, how the fuck we gonna talk about first class?
That's a bar.
Like, how we gonna talk about that if you don't know nothing about even going to the bag? You don't even know how to where to claim your bags at. Like, you know what I'm saying? You don't even know shit about the turnstile. So how the fuck am I gonna talk to you at this level and you've never been this way? You never even knew to make
That's
a
a
left
bar.
at this corner. Like, so
That's
that's always my thing. It's like, please just listen when I'm telling you this shit, because it's like I'm trying to do what's best for us. And some niggas don't move like that.
that's true. That's true. Um. So yeah,
Black
there's
Thought.
Beans, Gas, Meek, Black Thought. I just genuinely think he's one of the best rappers ever. Whatever type of style you want to go. You want to go fast. You want to go breaking it apart. You want to go somebody who you gonna put on an R&B song. More versatile. Um, he can freestyle. You want somebody who will go for, like you said, 9-12 minutes. He could do that. You need somebody just come on, give you a quick joint. He could do that, and he does it all well. I can't remember the last bad Black Thought verse I've heard in years. So that, and I mean, he's the reason why niggas are fans of the Roots. If you could sit there and give the band the accomplishments and all that, and Questlove as far as him writing the music and composing it, give his accomplishments because he's due for that. But if you don't hear Tariq spit on these beats, you're not going to listen to the Roots. It's just that simple.
The
And
fucked up
who's
part
my?
about people these days is now niggas be just like, oh, the beat hot. But what is he saying on the song though? like, that
I
be the
mean,
shit that killed me.
but that's what I'm saying. Like he could tell you the story. He could, you know what I mean? If you have a party joint,
No.
he
I'm
can give
not
you
talking
that
about.
vibe.
I'm not
Oh,
talking about
you
Black
saying
Thought.
how people
I'm
are these
saying
days,
in
period.
general, yeah, niggas is just
Yeah.
like they in the party and oh my shit on. What is he saying? Oh man, I don't know. What do you mean you don't
Niggas
know?
do
How's this your
not
shit?
care. Niggas do not care about lyricists at all. About lyrics at all. I feel like
I
these
know.
last two albums that people talking about prove that, but that's another story.
I know this nigga is not from Philly, but been telling niggas that, like having this conversation with niggas for years. Like if you just talking about who's the better rapper, Jadakiss is better than everybody. It's like you don't know a shitty Jadakiss joint, and he might not sell. He's not going to sell the most albums. He's not going to have the most followers on Instagram. He's not going to be the most popular. But if you're talking about who's better, whose body of work can go up against his, like how the fuck did you think Dipset was beating the Locks in the verses?
Come on, man. Don't get me
Like,
started on that shit, Hank. Please don't.
you
Please don't.
thought
I don't know
like
what the fuck people was talking about, man.
hey ma, what's up? You thought this shit was gonna go up against if you
Fruity
hope
Tooty, the fresh and fruity, the eat the booty. Man, get the fuck out of here,
and
man.
you thought that shit was going up against We Are the Streets. Like but anyway, man, who was your fifth one? Who was your fifth?
And the fifth was
You had Cash, Meek, Beans, Black Thought,
Gas,
and
Meat
who?
Beans, Black Thought, and damn, I forget my fifth already. Gas,
Fuck him.
Meat. Yeah,
We'll
we
come
come
back
back.
to him. Yeah, we'll
Yeah, we'll
come
come
back
back
to
to
him.
it.
This is the thing. Like I never try to knock nobody list. Like, yeah, I'm gonna fuck with you about you got that nigga where, but it's always music is subjective. The nigga who's been riding skateboards can hear this skateboard song and say this is the best shit he ever heard because it was relatable to him. Yeah,
That's
I
true.
might think this is terrible. You know what I'm saying? But that's because I'm not on that wave. So like
Chris was my fifth.
Chris,
Chris was my
okay.
fifth. Young Chris was my fifth. Um, since Hot 97 when he came on and started bombing on that shit, I was like, okay, Young Boy can go. I definitely dug the Young Guns album, some of his verses on the State Prop mixtape. When I finally got
Tough
around
Love
to one of his,
was Tough Love
Hmm?
was the shit.
It
Tough Love
was.
was the shit, but it's like to me a classic is like it's a certain percentage of the songs.
Oh yeah,
Depending
I
on
ain't
how
gonna
many
say that
songs.
joint was a classic. I ain't gonna throw that word on it.
It's just shy of a classic though. Because it's
Yeah,
like if you look at it's like a certain percentage. If you got 15 songs and 10 of them is hot, this is a classic. You know what I'm
that's a
saying? You
fact.
got 25 songs and 10 of them is hot. Like, oh yeah, that joint cool. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying? There's a difference. But
real shit.
Tough Love is like right under a classic because Tough Love was the shit.
It was. It went hard. Um, and some of his own mixtapes was fire. Shit, I'm trying to remember the joint from 2005. Like that mixtape. Anyway, but yeah, I definitely was impressed with Young Chris. You know all the rumors about how Jay stole Chris flow or he changed his flow after Chris was on there for a minute or whatever. I mean, I'm not one to run with that conspiracy, but I can see how people came to it. Chris is good, man. Better than good, man. Better than good. I think he's dope.
The thing I would say about that is people who are on a higher level than you are on will always steal shit from the lower level because they know it's not the same amount of notoriety on it. Like, so I might not flat out steal your verse, but like you're saying, the cadence and all of that, I know I can do it and I can perfect it and I can just put a little bit of spin on it, which is what everybody does with anything. Everybody's inspired by somebody, so everybody kind of has to sound like somebody. You know what I'm
So
saying?
do
Like,
you take
unless
that more as like you said, inspiration, or is it theft?
it depends on
Is
who
it
the
jacking?
person is. It depends on who the
Okay.
person is because they'll be like I was going through this with somebody last week about they don't listen. Somebody brought up another podcast on their podcast and he said like I don't listen to the competition. And I hit them like, yo, what do you mean you don't listen to the competition? One, I don't view anything as nobody as competition because you can only come to How to Hustle podcast to get me. You can listen to 5,000 other podcasts, but you can't get me out of none of that. Now, you're gonna listen to shit that, like I just told you, I'm listening to y'all last journey, like, yo, this shit is good. But me listening to your joint, I might come up with 4 questions off of your podcast. These ain't the same questions that you had. It might be you just think about shit a little different. You might hear something or something, and it'd be like, that's a joint that they could have went in on that, but they didn't. That's a joint they didn't even realize was a gem right there that they didn't jump on. But you get that when you go through doing your fucking you do your homework, when you covering your ass in this situation. We've been killing Ben Simmons for years about what? Never getting in the gym, getting no better. So how the fuck would we all get on the joint and say, I don't listen to nobody else shit? I had somebody told me I don't listen to their own shit. Like, how you think you gonna get any better? You don't listen to your own shit. One, that's a free download for you, dumbass. You should be hitting your own button every week because I know I hit mine.
Real shit.
You know what I'm saying? At least 2-3 times a week I'm hitting my shit. I'll let you know now. Like, okay, that's an Apple hit, that's a Spotify hit. What's wrong with you? Why wouldn't you do that?
Real shit.
Like, but if you don't go back to episode 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, how you expect episode 36, 7, 8, 9, and 10 to be any better? Like, they can't be no better if you ain't listening, which goes back to the same shit. Like I said, if you ain't writing none of this shit, if your pen game ain't got no better over these last couple of albums, because you just, I'm gonna just go in there and whatever I'm feeling at the time, I'm gonna just say, and
Right.
we can mix master it and see how it sound and how it feel, and then we out the door. Like, oh, we got another hot joint. Like, do you? Do you have the same fucking joint that you just gave me 3 of on the last album?
Facts.
But all right, yeah, we always go to those top 5 lists, you know what I'm saying? Easy content, but like I said, because I know y'all are a Philly-based podcast, I wanted to keep that as a local situation that we're gonna kick out to the world. So let everybody hear about that. Now,
Real shit.
talking about that, let's talk about the 2 Kings. Let's talk a
Let's
little
talk
bit
about
about
it.
the podcast. How long y'all
All
been doing
right.
the podcast?
So we actually had tried the YouTube route like about maybe 5, maybe 6 years ago. We was only video and we was doing it on YouTube. That shit didn't really take off for us the way we wanted it to at all. Like the first couple of episodes, people was throwing love on it. Then we saw the views get stagnant real fast. We tried to change it up, do a couple of Facebook lives, you know what I mean? It still wasn't getting, it was like maybe the same 3 people that were tuning into the lives. People wasn't sharing this shit, it wasn't going nowhere. We didn't really like who we thought was our audience, didn't really keep tapping in. It started to be like the same 10 people and the shit wouldn't go nowhere past 10. So we was just kind of like, we got frustrated, hung that shit up. Pandemic hits. We on a couple of posts together, commenting back and forth. People like, damn, y'all should bring back the podcast. Y'all should bring back the podcast. And I was just kind of like talking over with my homie. I said, you want to give it a shot? He's like, homie, if you do. We came back, we did it, and pretty much the way now we do it is just a conversation between me, him, and whoever we have on.
Hold
So
up, throw his name out there. Let the listeners know because you only have one half
definitely,
of the podcast. We only
my
got one of
man,
y'all on today, so let's keep
for
his
sure,
name
for
going
sure.
so that the folks know what they're getting when they come
Absolutely.
in.
Absolutely. None other than my brother A.C.E. That's who he be. I call him the funniest nigga out of Uptown. He's also into reselling kits and shit like that. So I mean, fly footwear, he know all about it. But that's my right hand, that's my brother, man. Like, it's crazy because I always say we wasn't friends before we first started trying to do podcasts. Like, we was just cool. My wife and his wife were friends and in the same Christian sorority. So being supportive husbands, we'd show up to the same events. First, neither one of us wanted to be there. But then it's
Oh,
like, all
y'all
right,
was
it's
on
the other dude there.
grown man play date joints.
Man, listen, when you break it down like that, yeah.
Hey man, listen, okay. I'm saying I
Yeah, I'm
got
about to
you.
say, I heard you talk about your marriage on your podcast too.
I ain't never
So,
shy
yeah,
about
man,
that. 5 years of
I know
gangster
you
on
know
me.
about it. I
Hey
know
boo.
you know about it. So, yeah, man, we was like the only reason we be surviving at some of these events, you know what I'm saying? So after that, when people started seeing us follow each other on Facebook, and they would talk us into doing it. So like I said, we tried it on YouTube. Now we back, and like I said, instead of sitting there trying to do all these topics that this person asked for and that person asked for, what we think is gonna appeal to each and everybody, it's just like, yo, what y'all feel like talking about today? What y'all feel like talking about this week? Come up with the topic, we run with it, and it's just conversational. And I think that's made it so much more enjoyable and easy, man.
When you make it organic like that, it's always better. If you try to be too structured, like you fucking Mike and Mike in the morning on ESPN, and if you try to go that route and that ain't where you at yet, it's gonna show. People gonna be able to notice that it's not like your genuine, authentic feelings on like first take. Like I'm gonna take this side, you gonna take that side, so that we always bicker. And it's like, so y'all don't agree on shit. If y'all don't agree on shit, how the fuck did y'all ever get to doing the show together?
Oh
Like
no, that's the thing. Our chemistry, our friendship built while trying to do the video version of the podcast, because it's like it wasn't even like we could take two different sides on shit. We started finding out how much we had in common about so many different topics. Like I said, even though we didn't always come up with the topics, we asked around and see what people wanted to talk about. Even so, we was both feeling a lot of the same way about it, but kind of like how you said, you might feel the way I feel about a topic, but you touch a certain gems that I'm not. So me and him was able to bounce off of each other so easily. And then it's kind of like, well, now we like family. Like we showing up to each other family events and celebrating each other wins, bigging up each other, you know what I'm saying? Like
that's the
him bigging up
beauty of
my
the
coaching,
situation.
me bigging up his sneaks.
That's the beauty of the situation. There is that you get the person's genuine reaction. When I send out the
Yep.
links for we doing this episode, all I'm telling you is the topic. I don't want to talk about it beforehand. Anytime I do an episode with anybody, we're gonna talk before the show, we're gonna talk after the show. And we're not gonna talk about the topic though. I want you to give me your genuine thoughts. I don't want to know Dark Low on your list. I want you to tell me that shit on the show so that I can go, this nigga just said he got dark fucking low. I don't want to have said that 20 minutes ago and then I gotta fabricate it for the listeners. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
So that's the
Right.
shit that is the better of it. Even if y'all look at shit like you said the same way, we gonna give two different opinions about it. As long as you don't flat out repeat exactly what I just said, then we got going
Mm-hmm.
here.
It creates the laughs that we have on the show. Like the last couple of trailers that I dropped, I'm in the background cracking the fuck up while he's saying stuff because I'm genuinely hearing it for the first time. Same way I guess or whoever listened to it here for the first time, I heard it the first time while we were recording. Like not
Mm-hmm.
beforehand. It's not like, oh, I already know how he stand on this. Like he said something that I've never heard him say before, and that shit is genuinely that fucking funny.
Mm-hmm. See, some shit
So
I'd be like, shit, we got a topic there. Let's not hold it, keep it, put it in your notes if you need to. We gonna talk about that on the show. Like, we're not gonna bring that out at the cookout right now while we stand here
yeah,
together. You know what I'm
we
saying?
definitely do that in our group chat. We definitely do that in our group chat. Us and Nirie, the guy that's our quote unquote third host, you know what I mean, who comes in and guests with us a lot.
I
We
was
do
gonna
that.
ask about that
We're
because I'm
all in the
like
group
this.
chat.
I'm like, I probably listened to like 3-4 episodes, and I'm like, okay, the shit says two kings, but she's on here all the time. So what's the
Because it's like it's
situation?
so that's again, like I said, we all personal friends in life, but that's my other brother's wife or whatever. So me and
Okay.
her have been close like brother and sister. So she always talking to both of us anyway, separately. So we just got this group chat where we all going to talk about the same shit. And then once we started to do the podcast again, she would come in and say, hey, I feel this way about it. I feel that way about it. And I'm like, well, shit. I know somebody's going to want to hear a female's view on these things.
No
Come
question.
on and say it. You know what I'm saying? Come on and say it. Like you said, stop. Don't go into it and don't go in this group chat. Come on this episode. Say what you got to say.
Yeah, I mean that's where it's at right there. Yeah, let's not burn this content. This content, we could turn anything into content. Uh, only thing I would tell y'all about that is maybe we go two kings and a queen, but let's implement her into the title if she gonna be on here this consistent. You know what I'm saying?
That's actually something we looking to do in the future. To be perfectly honest, we considered
Yeah,
that already.
don't let everybody behind the curtain. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Don't let
You're right.
everybody
You're right.
behind the
You're right.
curtain.
We'll
That's
talk
just
about that.
me
We'll
throwing
talk
out.
about that off
Copy
the
that.
record.
That's just me throwing in something out there to you. Last one before we go. If I'm a new listener and I'm tuning in, what's the episode I gotta go straight to listen to the Two Kings 215 podcast?
All right. So, if I was to direct somebody who just came on to what I think is the best one, that's hard as shit. Damn.
Give me two, give me
Um.
three. Just give me you know what I'm saying? Give me
All
something
right. I'll
that
give you two. I'll say, I'll say protection and submission. I'll say, um, the Battle of the Titans, because we had another person on there who hasn't been back since, but she gave a lot of good views. And that's like a 4-parter actually. So you could tap into any one of those parts of the 4 and get something out of that. And I would say the Kink joint that we just did a few episodes ago. Kink Keys.
Okay. Funny you brought up submission. Last week's episode was on submission, where you find that on all streaming platforms. The Hot Hustle Podcast. Funny you have just brought that up. Shout out to Tough Talk Toronto. You know what I'm saying?
I listened to that joint too.
Oh no, I'm saying, yeah, no doubt. I appreciate it. Appreciate you hitting the button. But yeah, now that like I said, shit, I got on y'all because I seen y'all posting some quotes and shit from the show that I said, but I'm like, well, damn, y'all ain't at me. Like, I just happened to see it from scrolling through the story joint. So I'm like, okay, but I saw the name, so I say this is a local situation. And like I said, you on the ground here and trying to kill that narrative of the Philly niggas can't never do shit together. Problem with the city is niggas don't ever want to bring shit together. Niggas always want to break shit apart. If I tell you we doing something down here on 20th Street, niggas will set up on 21st Street, on 22nd Street, or in the middle of 20th. Just to say these nut ass niggas think they about to do something. Fuck out of here. So we try to break that narrative with a Philly support Philly situation, which is why I wanted to bring both of y'all on. But it's cool. We got 2,000 more episodes to do, so I can get y'all back on. But I appreciate you coming on. That's episode. What was this one? 36. And we are out.
Peace.